Hey parents, I just wanted to give you some information about how some of the stuff works in Google Classroom in case you're wanting to check over your kids' work and see how they did, or in case you have any questions about particularly how some of the math assignments work. So here you see, this is just a Google Classroom dashboard. You can see all the classes that I have. Your students would look similar to this, only instead of everything being math, they would have math and science and social studies and ELA and PE and extension and everything. And down here in the practice class, you can see it's got this assignment listed right here. It's got it marked as due tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. practice form. So if they have any homework that's coming up due that they haven't turned in yet, it's going to be showing up down here in the box in the class. If I click on that, it'll take me directly to the assignment. Now on mine, it's going to show the list of students that have and haven't turned it in and scores and all that kind of stuff. Theirs is going to look more like this. This is the instruction page. Now I can tell you for the math ones, many of them are ungraded. If they do have a score up here, that means it's probably a test. And the way I do the scores on the test, since we are a standard-based thing, part one of the test will be the first number here. Part two of the test is the second number. If it's got 3 or 4 parts, it'll have more. That's how I score their thing. And it says when it's due. This one is due tomorrow, 11:59 p.m. Now you see two little icons here. One says assignments, one says tests. These are just practice forms that I created. You got some instructions here usually. Look what you can do with your Google Form assignments. So I'll put some information on how to solve it or any particulars that you need to know. On the test, I usually put part one is about this, part two is about that kind of thing. So there will be instructions right there on the page. Though most kids don't read that, they just click right on the little icon for the assignment. So here's a practice assignment, just a little form. So here's what assignments are going to look like for me. Typically, there will be some notes from the lesson, some very basic, this is how you solve these problems kind of thing. Again, kids don't usually read that part either. Then there'll be some random question, and by random, I mean it'll be a homework assignment. Now, these are just a couple of random ones to show you. So here's a multiple choice one, and we'll just click on whatever we think the correct answer might be based on the question and the answers. And you'll see that this one's worth 1 point. And then this next one here is written out, so this can get kind of rough. So good luck getting the right answer there. And the reason I'm just filling this out like this, now I'm going to click submit, and we're going to take a look at what happens. Keep in mind, this is how the assignments work for a math class when it's in a Google form. When I click submit, it gives me two options. It says view score and edit your response. Okay, I do this on all my Google form assignments. You can view your score and edit your response. Edit your response means I have it set where when you click submit, it's going to save whatever you told it, and you can go back in and change it. So if you're one of them that 3 hours later you go, oh my gosh, I think I messed up that question, click edit your response, and it'll show you what your answers were. And then you can change them if you want, leave them alone if you want, and go ahead and click submit again. For assignments, if I click view score on assignments, it's going to show me, hey, I got this one wrong. The correct answer was option 3. Sometimes there's going to be some feedback on hints on how to solve this particular problem. Okay, so multiple choice ones are pretty easy. Either you got the right one or you didn't. Now here's where people run into troubles. Okay, on the short answer ones, the short answer ones are difficult because I will have a list of these are the different correct answers that I put in, but there are, as many correct answers as there are people on the planet. So you'll see that I typed in good luck, and all three of these answers say good luck, so how come mine's marked wrong? Well, I put a period after it, whereas the correct answer has nothing or an exclamation. Now, we all know that that's the same darn thing, so technically that answer is correct. Now, what I do is before I put in any grades, I will look things over and go, no, that's the same thing. They can get a point for it. And I might have some feedback here, and I usually tell the kids, hey, make sure you double check. As long as the numbers are right, maybe your label's off a little bit, and that's not a big deal. I'm okay with that. Okay, so there are options like that. Now, from the teacher standpoint, I can show you how that looks. Let me go ahead and open this assignments back up. Teachers have this little, down in the bottom right-hand corner, they have this little pencil-looking thing. If I click on that, it allows me to go back in, change the questions, add the questions. Responses is what I'm interested in for your guys' purposes. See, I've had one person turn it in, they scored 0 points. So they didn't do so well. I can look at it as just a summary and scroll down and see, okay, both questions were missed. I got a score of 0. Here's what I answered. And if I have more than one answer turned in, it's going to show me all of their answers all piled up there. But what I can do is, if I click on individual, I can scroll through each individual person saying, okay, this student answered option 1 on the first question. Yeah, that's definitely wrong, so I leave that alone. I come down to this one. So good luck with the period. That's the same thing. So I can come over here and I can plus that up and give them the point anyway. Okay, and then that's going to change that student's score. Now instead of scoring 0, they've now scored 1. So that's how the assignments work for me. This other form here is going to be a look at the tests. Now, there's not much difference between the tests and the assignments, with the exception of the tests will usually have some pictures or text at the top where there are some examples and notes on how to solve the basics of the problems. Again, we're going to answer a question. Okay, on the assignment, it was option 3, so let me go ahead and click option 3. And again, I have a random thing that I need to type in here. Let's go with, if I can remember what I put for my answers, let's say it was $7.50. Once again, I click submit. Now this is a test, but again, I have the option of edit my response because I, as the teacher, set it up where you can go back in and change your response. I also have the ability to view my score. Now, being a test, what you're going to notice, being a test, it doesn't tell me what the correct answer is because I set it up so you don't know. Because too many kids will just go, oh, I submitted it, I see the correct answer, and now I go put in the correct answer, and magically I got everything right. So option 3 was not the correct answer. 7.5 works. Now, some of you are out there going, hey, that's not how you write $7.50. There should be a 0 at the end, and that is absolutely true. I just happened to get it matched up right. All right, so sometimes there's feedback, sometimes not. You can see on that question there wasn't. And again, as a teacher, I can go into the test because it's just a Google form. All the extra stuff is settings that I put on it, test or assignment or whatever. All the Google forms are the same, and then I have the option of settings that I can click. This little right here is where I tell it, collect email addresses so I don't have to worry about your kid putting their name on it. Edit after they submit. That's where it says edit your response. Limit to 1 response, so that way they don't have to fill out a brand new one every time. And then over here on quizzes is where I can click whether or not they can see the correct answer. I pretty much always let them see the missed questions and the point value. Whether or not they see the correct answer, I only do that on assignments, not on tests. Now I want to show you, here's what I wanted to show you. On this one, the short answer one, you can see here a list of correct answers, right? I told Google to accept these answers as correct. So if you put an extra decimal point, if you didn't put a dollar sign, but you did put the 0, if you put anything that does not perfectly match this, Google's going to mark it wrong. I, however, will go back in and say, no, that's the same thing. You got 7.5, maybe have $3 signs, maybe you put the dollar sign at the end. All of that would cause Google to mark it wrong, but we all know that's the same thing. And I tell the kids this several times, so don't stress it. Also, one of the main reasons I wanted to show you this, because some people say, hey, my kid turned their assignment in and I can't see how they did. I can't check it over or anything. If the kid's telling you that, that is an out-and-out lie because they've all been told. You go back, you click on the assignment, you click edit your response, and you can see what their answers were, and they can fix it and then turn it back in. You can click view your score. In either case, you can see what they answered. All right, so if you click view your score, you're just going to see what they answered and what they got right, what they got wrong, or what they got different. Maybe it's not wrong, it might just be different. If you click edit your response, you can see their answers and change their answers, okay? So don't let your kid tell you that they had to turn it in right away and that now there's nothing they can do about it. If it's a Google form, especially for math, I know you can totally go back in and try to fix stuff. If you don't know how to find the assignments again, from the main page, it'll be listed just right there on the class. Hey, look, in this class, you have that assignment. If they're actually in the class, new posts are going to show up here. This is the stream, like a Facebook feed. This is where just everything shows up. On the left, they have a to-do list. Hey, look, there's the assignment. I can click view all, but in this case, that's the only one there. I can go up to classwork. Classwork's also going to have a list. Now, some teachers have it separated by topic, depending on the teacher changes what topics they have created. Like I know for math, I have it separated by chapter or unit. I know some of the classes separated by week. So it all kind of depends. But there are multiple ways to do it. And again, the main purpose of this video was to let you know if it's a form in math, they can totally go back in and change their answer. So if you need to check their work, they can pull it back up and go ahead and check.